We've spent decades looking up at the sun, at the wind, searching for clean energy. But what if the most powerful, most reliable solution has been right under our feet this whole time? Today, we're digging into the next generation of geothermal power.
Look, we all love solar and wind. They're amazing, but they force us to ask a really tough question. What happens when the sun goes down? Or when the wind just stops blowing? Figuring that out is probably the single biggest challenge in building a truly clean, truly reliable power grid.
And this right here is the fundamental dilemma we're all facing. On one side, you've got energy that's clean, but let's face it, unpredictable. On the other, you've got energy that's reliable, for sure, but dirty. This conflict creates what a lot of experts call the reliability gap.
This gap. This is the biggest hurdle stopping us from having a 100% clean grid. I mean, how do you keep the lights on 24/7 without having to fall back on fossil fuels every time the weather changes?
Well, that's the incredible promise of what we're talking about today. A solution that could give us the best of both worlds. All the cleanliness of renewables, but with the rock-solid reliability of traditional power. So let's get into it. The solution is something called Geothermal 2.0. And I want to be clear, this is not the classic geothermal you might be thinking of, the kind that only works near volcanoes or geysers. No, this is a total, fundamental shift in how we approach it.
I love this quote because it just nails the new mindset. The idea is to stop searching for those rare, perfect natural hotspots and instead start engineering them ourselves, tapping into that immense, constant heat that's literally everywhere under the Earth's surface.
So, how do we do it? The main technique is called Enhanced Geothermal Systems, or EGS for short, and it's a revolutionary idea for turning huge areas of hot, dry rock that was previously useless for geothermal, into massive productive power plants. And when you break it down, the process is surprisingly elegant. First, you drill down a few kilometers. Then you inject water at high pressure to create a network of tiny cracks, basically your own underground reservoir. From there, you just circulate water in a closed loop. It goes down, gets superheated by the rock, comes up as steam, spins a turbine to make electricity, and then cycles right back down to do it all over again. It's like a self-contained, perpetual power generator.
But here's the thing. EGS is really just the starting point. The real breakthrough, the thing that's truly unlocking Geothermal 2.0 on a global scale, is a whole new toolkit of incredible technologies.
We're talking about two major advances here. The ability to go way deeper to what's called super hot rock, and brand new, radical drilling technologies that actually make it possible to get there. And the difference this makes is, well, it's just staggering. By drilling down into these super hot zones, you can multiply the energy you get from a single well by 5 or even 10 times.
So how does that work? Well, when you get that deep, the heat and pressure are so intense that water enters a supercritical state. It's this wild fourth state of matter. It's not quite a liquid, not quite a gas, but it can hold and transport an absolutely massive amount of energy. So much more, in fact, that it completely changes the economics of geothermal power.
But getting to those depths, that requires a whole new way of drilling. The old way, literally grinding and crushing rock, just doesn't work well that deep. The new tech sounds like something out of science fiction. It uses millimeter wave energy beams, almost like a super-focused microwave, to literally vaporize the rock in front of it. There's no friction, it's way faster, and it can handle the insane temperatures that would destroy a conventional drill.
Okay, so we've got the tech. What's the so what? What does this actually mean for our power grid? It means we can finally build a clean grid that's also incredibly stable and reliable.
And this is a really crucial point. Geothermal isn't here to replace solar and wind, it's their perfect partner. While solar and wind are providing tons of variable power when conditions are right, geothermal is the one delivering that constant, steady baseload power that holds the whole grid together 24/7.
When you think about it, geothermal just solves the biggest weaknesses of other renewables. It's always on, it can be ramped up or down to match demand and prevent blackouts. And because you can build a plant almost anywhere, you can generate power locally, right where people actually need it.
I think this quote just sums it up perfectly. It really is the glue. Geothermal provides that firm, reliable foundation that allows us to build a much bigger clean energy system right on top of it.
Okay, this all sounds amazing, but let's be real, this is a massive undertaking. So what are the actual real-world hurdles, and what's the timeline for making Geothermal 2.0 a global reality?
The challenges are definitely real. You hear about high upfront drilling costs, the potential seismic risk from fracturing rock, and water use. But here's the thing. These are all solvable engineering problems. Innovation and scale are already driving costs down, modern monitoring can manage any seismic risks, and the closed-loop systems recycle nearly every drop of water they use. And I want to stress this is not science fiction. There's a very clear timeline here. EGS pilot projects are already working and generating electricity today. We can expect to see commercial-scale plants becoming mainstream in the early 2030s, and then the even more powerful super hot rock tech should follow just a few years after that.
So what's the ultimate potential? What's the grand prize here? Well, it pretty much all comes down to this one incredible number.
85%. Let that sink in for a second. That means 85% of our planet's crust is hot enough for this new generation of geothermal technology. This completely transforms geothermal from a niche solution for places like Iceland into a universal energy source available to almost every single country on Earth. And the bigger picture, the ripple effects of this are just transformative. We're talking about power that's totally independent of the weather, power that doesn't require mining for rare earth metals. It creates a natural career path for skilled workers in the oil and gas industry, and it could give entire developing nations true energy independence.
So that leaves us with one last big thought. For decades, we've been looking to the sky for our clean energy future, but maybe, just maybe, the most powerful, the most abundant, and the most reliable solution was right here all along, waiting for us just a few kilometers below the surface.